Hi explorers, it's Heather, and for today's video I wanted to share some recent treasure hunting finds. So I am a collector of antiques and oddities, as you can see behind me, and I found a few things recently. I don't really go and get new antiques too often, but I do admit I do stop into an antique store at least once a week, and every once in a while, okay, I often bring home something really neat for my collection, but I am extremely particular. So here are some of my recent finds. So the first thing I'm going to be sharing is something that I honestly should probably share at the end of this video because a lot of you are going to click away. So I just wanted to warn you all that I'm going to be sharing a creepy doll. So skip ahead if this is too much for you. So here is my new doll and I absolutely love her. So it's really sad, but my favorite antique shop is closing down. I've been going to this place since I was in high school. I actually had this incredible antique bed in high school, and that's where I got it for my birthday. I also used to have a ball and claw piano stool, but someone stole it. I still have that bed though. It is quite small, but I'm planning on actually fixing it up, and let me get fixed up here. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so here is the thing that I picked up the other day there. So I've always wanted an old composition doll or a German bisque ball jointed doll, and I saw her and I was like, today is the day. So if you haven't really been keeping up on me recently, I was in a car accident recently, and thankfully that whole story had a happy ending. I ended up buying a Subaru that I absolutely love. So while it was all like very stressful for me emotionally, there was a happy ending to that whole story, and I'm in a better place because of it. But I decided to treat myself to something to tell myself that I was proud of myself for getting through that situation, so I decided to buy myself this beautiful composition doll. So I don't actually know who this doll is. I was doing a little bit of research, and she might be a Madame Alexander doll, but I'm not entirely sure. I thought maybe she was a Princess Elizabeth. She does have the Madame Alexander clothes on, these shoes, for example. Look at them, oh my goodness, the little silver shoes and the little socks. And then she has this pink dress that has ruffled sleeves. The dress isn't in the best of condition, but I plan to fix it up the best I can. I really like her hair, which also needs some restoration work. As you can see, it's a little bit matted, but the hair itself is still great quality. It just needs a good brushing and then maybe resetting her curls a little bit. So this hair is definitely real hair. Is it human or mohair though? I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm looking at it right now and I think I see a split end. I think this is human hair, which is crazy and awesome to me. She also has these really cute little pins in her hair. I think what made me instantly fall in love with this little doll though is how she has all these little cracks in her face, and then her little teeth. Look at her little teeth. They're so white still too. And then the other thing I love about her is that her eyes close. Is she not like so cute? And then look, her eyes open. So I actually got her because I plan to photograph her. I'm a sucker for anything with like cracked paint on it. And I think there's something so beautiful and symbolic of like fragility and being delicate and you know, being a woman and being a girl, you know, all that is thrown at us that kind of cracks us, and we have to learn how to heal and be stronger. So she really inspired like a whole photo shoot I want to do with her, and Hopefully I'll get the chance to do that. I would like actually to put a different dress on her at some point, but this dress has this ribbon on the front that's actually tied, and I would hate to try to untie it to take it off, but yeah, I'm really happy with her. She's super cute. I like how her head kind of like bobs around. She's so adorable. I haven't come up with a name for her yet. I mean, she does kind of look like Shirley Temple, and that was another theory I had, was that maybe a doll maker was trying to bank off the fact that Shirley Temple was really popular at the time, so they tried to make their own minus the dimples so they can get away with it. A Shirley doll is another thing I would absolutely love to have. But anyway, she's really beautiful. Oh yeah, let me show you one more thing about her that I really like. So she actually has blushing on her knees, and I like how her legs are all cracked. And then I believe there's also blushing on the tops of her hands. Super cute little dolly, and I can't wait to do a photo shoot with her. So this next item was actually a really interesting find. And I actually got this for $1, and I would say I did pretty good, because this is the kind of strange subject matter that I'm always looking for. So this is a funeral cabinet card. This thing's probably from maybe the very early 1900s, 1890s. I'm no expert to be able to tell you for sure. But basically, there is a funeral flower arrangement here, and if you look in the middle there's another cabinet card, and it's of the man whose funeral it is, and it's in this wreath. So could you imagine having the original cabinet card that was in this photo? That would be really strange. So I'm looking at it, and it's kind of hard to tell, but I think there may be some symbolism here for maybe a lodge he was in. There's definitely letters in the flower arrangement, but I just thought this was really interesting. And what's cool about this is that it has the extra finish on it. So that's why it's so shiny. That was an upgrade you could get back then on this cabinet card. It's amazing to me that these cabinet cards hold up so well to time. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, they hold up better than like an actual photograph. They look so darn good, and it's crazy to think of how old this actually is. So also on that day, I found something that I thought was really cool. So this is a tintype, and the date on the bottom is January 4th, 1889. And if you look closely at the bottom there, the date is scratched in. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's down here at the bottom. And I just thought that was so cool that they did that. And this tintype is actually pretty neat looking. The quality on it's incredible. It's really silvery, like the girl almost looks kind of ghostly in a way. It's really strange, but I thought this was a really good one, and you can't beat getting a really good tintype like this with an inscription on it for only $1. I mean, hey, I was meant to find this that day. So this next item is something that I have wanted forever. It's been on my wish list. This is a book that is illustrated by my favorite artist. So this is illustrated by Gustave Doré. He illustrated many books and even Bibles in the 1800s, and his work is just stunning. So a lot of the illustrations in this book are by Doré, but there's also a few other illustrators in here as well. And let me actually show you guys my favorite picture in this whole book. So while I'm looking for that though, last year around this time, I had gotten my hands on a Gustave Doré book that had absolutely incredible illustrations in it. This book was huge, and unfortunately, it was my ex-boyfriend's. We were seeing each other at the time, and he bought it and had me pick it up for him. And so I got to hang out with that book and like take a bunch of pictures of it and squeal, and not long after that we broke up, so it's not like I got to see that book again. And you know, having one of those big fancy Dore books with all the incredible illustrations on each page is something that I hope to get again, because this one, while I do like it, a lot of the illustrations are in here are more like just kind of like very comic-y. I mean, they're cool, you know, they're by Dore, and he was very, very talented, but I like his more intricate work, such as this one right here, for one. And then there's another one that I absolutely love that shouldn't be more than a few pages away. Alright, just when I thought all hope was lost, I found the illustration that made me absolutely have to have this book. You know, just a girl flying through a graveyard with her skeleton, you know. Nothing to see here, folks. So here is the cover of the book. It's called The New Hyperion. It says illustrated by Dore. It actually has one of his illustrations that's near the end of this book on it. And this book was published in the 1870s. In fact, let me get the exact year for you guys. So this book is actually from 1875. So I'm always on the hunt for Dore books. If you guys ever see one for a really good deal, feel free to link it to me. I really appreciate it. So the next piece I have here is kind of unusual. In fact, I have another unusual piece that I'm going to share along with it because they're both kind of related. So here we have an Ambro type case that is beautiful. As you can see, it was restored. I'm always appreciative whenever someone does that. I need to do this with a few of my pieces. Beautiful design. And then when you open it up, it's a little bizarre inside. So we have this incredible berry colored velvet, and then there's this old lady. But she's not a photograph, she's a painting. I actually took this out of the case, and she is indeed a painting on a back card. So what's the story behind her? What is this piece? Well, I spoke with my friend VPS Gettysburg, who has an actual 1800s photography studio in Gettysburg where you guys can go and get tintypes and ambrotypes done. It's a great experience. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen my video on it already. So this was basically where they took a copy of an ambrotype and they put it on paper, and then an artist painted over that paper copy. So somewhere out there is the original ambrotype of this piece, and I guess to make cheaper copies for the family, they made a painting from the original image. So really, really cool, and actually, I mean, it's a really good painting. The details are all really nice, and there's something so nice about her. This painting in this case, like, it just looks so good. And it turns out this piece is from the 1850s. I couldn't believe how old it was whenever my friend told me. So really great piece. I'm really happy to have found this. So what's the piece that relates to that? Well, since we're talking about grandmas here, I have this one that is very strange. So obviously this was just a chemical reaction. We'll go with that. But I feel like this is a Victorian ghost photo. What do you guys think? So here's Grandma, like the classic grandma image. And she, you know, she's just sewing, and then you see this wispy thing going through the image. Ooh, spooky. Is it the spirit of her recently departed husband? I don't know. But I just thought that was really cool because it just looks so freaky. Like, obviously it's just a chemical reaction, you know, we'll go with that. But I want to pretend that this is Grandma's ghost. Her ghost that stays around her. Just so bizarre. This is a piece that I had to go back for. It really bothered me that I didn't buy this the first time I saw it. So, had to go get it. Here's what the back of the card looks like. There's all this little floral design on it. Really, really cool and unusual piece. So the next thing I have here is actually a tintype, and it's so cool. I'm always excited to find ones of women wearing gloves. Lace gloves. I just think that they photographed so pretty. So here is, like I said, a piece that I would like to restore. These cases break very easily, and this one has come apart. Here's what the velvet in this one looked like. This is a pretty small one. And then in here we have this beautiful tintype of this woman. She is wearing gloves, and I'm sorry for the ring light. I'm trying to come up with a better lighting setup in here. But she's wearing a floral dress and gloves, and I really like this frame. I don't actually have anything in a case that has this particular frame design, so I think that'll also help me date this a little bit better. But she is so cool. And basically I went to this new antique store one day, and I wasn't really finding much that I was really looking for, and then right as I was about to leave, I was like, I'll take one more look in this little case over here, and that's where I saw her. And I got this for, I think, $10. It was either $10 or a little bit cheaper than that, and I'd say I got a pretty good deal on her. I don't have a name for her yet, but I'm going to come up with a floral name for her. So also at that shop, I did actually find one more thing. So I found two of these little brass stands. Now, they're not actually in the cabinet yet because I just redid it, and I don't actually know where they're going to go or what's going to go on them, but it's always good to find things that help you display things, especially things that are this ornate and beautiful. I mean, look at the detail work on this. It definitely goes with all the brass that I have in my collection, but it's really heavy, really nice, and I got two of these for $5 each. What a deal. On this episode of Heather Has Way Too Many Framed Objects and Nowhere to Hang Them. So I actually have a pile under my desk of different art pieces and weird things that I need to hang somewhere, and I just haven't hung them up yet, but I gotta change that soon. But this was too good to pass on. I could not leave this behind. I have never in my life seen anything like this. So I'm gonna do my best to show you guys. I'm sorry for the reflection, but this is a framed marriage certificate, but it's not just any framed marriage certificate. It has two tintypes on it. Yes, tintypes. A tintype couple. I could not believe this whenever I found this. So this is actually local for me. It's from my county, which is wild. I actually found this at an antique shop in Pittsburgh, the same place where I found that Gustave Doré book. And this thing was 20 bucks. And it's just incredible. So there's this certificate that unfortunately has some water damage, and I have not been able to figure out the name of this couple, and it's driving me nuts because they're probably buried in my favorite local cemetery and I just want to know who they are. So I know that her name is Ethel, but I seriously can't read his name. I feel like it says Benny, or perhaps it says Henry. And it looks like his last name is Ebolt, but I looked that up and I can't find anything. So we'll see. But this is from This is from 1888. So cool. Like I said, it's a shame that there has been some water damage, which has kind of faded the ink. But how can I leave behind a tintype couple? Amazing. Like, the fact that tintypes are put in here. Marriage tintypes with this certificate. Because I've seen lots of certificates like this. I know my grandma had one from her first Holy Communion back in like 1926 or whatever. But nothing with a photo in it. Not like this. So, too cool to pass on. As you can see, the back is falling apart. I stuck some cardboard back there to try to protect the print until I can sort it out. But, yeah, really great piece. So that's all from my recent strange and unusual finds. I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I would ask what your favorite object was, but unfortunately comments are turned off on my channel for the near future. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you're not already, please subscribe to see more strange objects, ghost stories, and me crying about something. And if you're not already, feel free to follow me on my TikTok, where I do little videos about these objects, strange places to see, and more of my adventures. So definitely follow me there, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye for now.